All right, welcome into the Bobby Carpenter Show. Coming off a nice big weekend, Schlage's a robust weekend, if you will. I mean, I had a lot of stuff going on. The coaches right now, we'll get in the coaching landscape of what the coaches are like. I think Schlage's might be able to get Matt Patricia on Thursday. He would circle back to me. They've been out on the road recruiting. I saw James in the Woody today. It was awesome seeing him. And I was like, dude, where have you been? Have you been around? He's like, I've been everywhere, like Johnny Cash. I was like, are you done? He goes, no, I got to hop a flight to Cali here, go find some dudes out there, see what's going on. So, yeah, those guys, they're all over the place. And that's right now, the May window is when the coaches go out and actually, recruit guys. Like a lot of times it's the underclassmen Schlags, as they're talking about, in the high schools and everything, going out and trying to find those guys. So doing high schools, doing the bump ins, meet guys and do all that stuff. And your dad was a coach, so you get it and understand it, with everything that was going on. And so Matt's been out there recruiting and doing everything as well. Something that really Jim Knowles never did. He didn't, I think he just didn't recruit. And so Matt's been doing a great job on the trail. So hopefully get a chance to talk to him. I'd like to watch some film with him, hang out, relax a little bit, and, be able to do some different stuff, Schlags. But outside of that, I mean, I had –
yeah, tell me about your weekend, Bob. What went down in the Carpenter household?
The National Pickleball Association. They had some sort of tournament here. Went up and popped by that on Friday with QC Connecticut.
Where is that located?
Up in Worthington. It's been a bunch of different stuff. It's right by Worthington Industries on the north side of 270. Really nice facility on the inside. You would have loved it. So yeah, they were up there talking about it. That was Friday. And then I went straight from that. Caleb had a game. Courtney met me. And then we drove up to Bell Fountain, home of Tavion St. Clair, and had our camp out at Camp Wilson, which is what we always do. Most of the time. I've done it a bunch for my daughters and my sons. And so he's got one more year of this. So I got 2 more camp outs left in the bag that I'll have to get before he graduates from the guides. But did the giant swing. I'll have to cut the video down and send it. That we could maybe look at this maybe later.
Dissect your form.
Yeah, but it's like one of the giant swings where they pull you up, and then swing you back down and everything. And it's pretty cool. I'll throw this in the chat here, but you'll probably have to cut that down, Pat. It's 2.5 minutes. There's only about 15 to 20 seconds of actual activity. But they pull you up, you swing through, and he always wants me to do it. And a lot of kids just do it with their friends. The fact that he wants to do it with me, I'm like, all right, man, as long as my kid wants to do it, I will. However, the swinging, man, I can do roller coasters. I'll do big slides and stuff at water parks. The swinging, man, the vertigo of going back and forth. The third time as we're trying to slow down, I felt like I was going to throw up all over myself. Now I held it together because I'm a dude and that's what you've got to do. Did that, came back, another soccer game, did some yard work around the house. Cleaned out. I've got a shop vac. My wife left a whole bag of bird seed, not protected in our garage 2 years ago that I didn't know was in there. And so mice got in it and ate it and then crapped all over the garage. And so I found that out and I had to go and empty all the cabinets, sweep everything out, sweeping out mouse crap. Because that's what I wanted to do. That's at 41 and 10 months. That's what I was hoping to do on a Saturday afternoon, was clean mice crap out of my garage that I had no part in because we wouldn't buy the bird seed. Why? Aspirational goals of filling the bird feeders, which never happened. And if we're going to buy it, tell me. I have tubs. We'll put it in a tub, seal it off so that no mice can get in there. By the way, you're just opening out, it's just whatever. So did that, cleaned some stuff up, figured some things out. My son plays lacrosse. He has a long pole. He's a little – as a 6th grader, he's going to be a 6th grader. He's not really fully big enough for a full long pole. So he goes, Dad, can you get this and cut it down? So I had to dig out and find my diamond blade for my circular saw. Found that, showed him the difference between a normal blade and the diamond blade, sawed it off, got that taken care of, did some weed whacking, then showered up, went to a Japanese steakhouse up off Sawmill Road, had a lot of food, had a lot of fun, did about 3 sake bombs, and then came back to the house. Had some wine, stopped at our neighbors who were with us. They're awesome because you would love it, Schlags. They always have little treats and sweets there because I'm like Bill Burr, get it out of the house. I can't have it. The Oreos, I'd eat pretty good during the week, but on the weekend when I've been drinking, if I find something, I'll eat it all. And, why can't you just eat one? Why eat them all? That's how I go. It's once the gas, It's all in. And Bill Burr has a great stand-up monologue. He's like, get the Oreos out of the house. He's like, you know what? I've never tried heroin, but if it's in the house, I had a conversation with my dad. Maybe I'm having a bad day. Maybe I say, let's try to figure out what this is all about. So I was like, get it out of here. But they have it. So that's why I like going down there, because she'll have some sweets and I'll had some brownies. And the lovely Miss Courtney dropped it like, you're going to eat a brownie after going to Japanese steakhouse? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to eat a brownie. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go run tomorrow like I do on Sundays. I'm going to go down the track and work some quarter miles and some 300s and 200s. And then I don't know how it eroded to this, Schlegs, to the conversation of, well, how fast could you run a mile in? And Pat, you can think it's in my Twitter. I was like, so I went there. I go, you know what? I had about 3 sake bombs and about a bottle and a half of wine. I go, I guarantee you I can break 6:30. I go, I run about 7:20 miles. I was like, I know what I can do. It's just a function of how much pain do I want to put myself in. And especially after a night like that, I go, I run around a 7:15, unstretched, just start, let's just go. Like Mike Vrabel, dude. You ever see a dog stretch before he chases a car? No way. No. So I ran it, Schlegs, boom. Yeah, there's probably some sort of deal on the Doomajig, but yeah, there you go. Pat found it 6:25, and I said, you know what? Still had a little gas in the tank. I could probably get down to 6:15 if I wasn't drinking the night before, and I didn't have any gum in, which I love to run with gum, and I maybe stretched and warmed up. So I still got some gas left. I think I might try to get a 6-minute before the summer's over, but I was like, don't question it. Okay. If I'm telling you I can do something, it's because I've tested myself and I know that it's there. When I run 7:15, I know that cutting 45 seconds off of it, what that's going to feel like. And I know that it's just a psychological thing. David Goggins, the amount of David Goggins responses, Schlegs in there, the stay hard as you're running. I'm like, don't challenge
self-talk.
It. Exactly. Self-talk. I started out first lap. My pace was like 6:10. It's like, oh, that's quick. Okay, let's throttle back a little. And then I started getting the shakes because whenever I work out after I drink a lot the night before, there's a period before I start sweating a lot where I feel really cold for about 30 seconds to a minute. And I was feeling that on lap 2. And I'm like, please don't throw up and just get me to the sweat. And then I'm good. Powered through it. And we were rounding that 200 meter mark left. And I'm like, dude, I got like 45 seconds left. Like, this is going to be money. I got plenty of time. And cruise through there at 6:25. But I didn't stop. I walked to 300, and then I sprinted another 300, and then sprinted another 300. I'm like, we're going to get some work in and call it a day. So that was my weekend. We had a football meeting in there on Sunday, had some Sunday party with some drinks. Yeah. But dude, if you're going to challenge it, like I told him, I'm going there the next day, and that's what's going to happen. Like, there was no ands, ifs, or buts. If I failed, I would have told him I failed, and I would put it out there. But that failure was not going to be an option for me on this Monday morning. And so
more of the story is what, Bob? More of the story is what? Know your limitations. Like,
yeah, a man's got to know his limitations. I'm a man, I'm 40, but I was like, I still feel like there's certain things I know I can do because I test the boundaries enough. You know, when you're pressing as Ryan Hawkwood said, press the edges, when you're feeling the edge of what your body can do, you know where you can go. Like, I'm staying in the inner circle, but I'm getting close. I know that to get to like the last 10% is going to suck balls. And you know that, like, you know what that feeling is of stretching yourself to go get it. And it's like, I stretched a lot. I was like, probably still had a little bit left. Like, I didn't even have to sprint the last 100 meters. Like I thought I was probably going to make it and like dive across the finish line and lay there. But I got it done. And
it's like, do you want to live in the suck? Right.
Yeah.
Like people talk about embrace the suck. Matter of fact, you said that. Buddy of mine, Scott Bourne. Scott's a firefighter in Fort Worth. Scott and I have been we wrestled together since we were, 6 years old. Him and Joey Marzola. Anyways, his son's 17. I believe he's going to go to the Air Force Academy. He did this. This was like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. He did this thing called the what was it called? Let's see, Cocodona 250. So it's 250 miles. 250 miles. He's 17. He did it in 120 hours, 10 minutes.
That's like David Goggins. That's some crazy ultra stuff.
I know. Crazy. 250 miles, 17-year-old, just living in the suck.
Oh my gosh. I remember though at 17, man, like you get at it. The thing is, I was much more physically gifted at 17 than I am at almost 42. But psychologically, I remember when we would run, it probably wasn't until I had to run all those years with Vrabel. We're like, dude, you just like lock in, like, all right, this is going to be bad. Embrace that it's going to be bad. Embrace the suck and go for it. And I don't know if at 17, I was like mentally equipped to be able to go do that like I would be able to do that now.
I think I was probably better in that world at that time because I had lived through wrestling. Like just when you're just always in when you're just always pushing your limits to that level of suck, I think you just get it becomes part of your routine. And now you get to 44 and it's do I want to go there? And there's a lot of days where I do. Then there's other days where it's like you're absolutely gassed from more mental fatigue of business and family and moving and all these other things that you're like, I don't really want to go there today because I know how it's going to impact the rest of my week if I go do that, you know? And that's the other thing too. Everybody has other things that they like to do to go to that level. I would say the best thing that you said though, Bob, is that you still got to go there. I think that's what always, you got to keep challenging.
You need to live there, Slags, but you can go visit for a weekend.
You got to. Now that might be different for all people. You know, you might want to go live there with some alcohol, just knowing that you're going to swell and it's going to be terrible and the effects of that and how long it takes you to overcome that significantly different than when you had, you know, a turbo just rolling off the taxi cab just to run, cut 200s.
100%.
Crazy time.
But Slags, I always go back to this, man. Like, and it comes down to like nobody cares. You know, and it's like when I was playing ball, you know, and you're playing at Ohio State, you're playing the NFL, whatever it is. Like, do you think they care that you got a rolled ankle? You think it mattered that your allergies are bad and like you couldn't practice all week and maybe you had a strep throat? Like we lost to Northwestern. You know, I had strep throat that week and missed a lot of practice. You know, missed like a day and a half of practice. I'm like, do you think anybody cares? No. The end result was we lost to Northwestern for the first time in 34 years. It's like, you know, I played some good in that game. I had a pick, did some things. I had a lot of bad in that game too. Like nobody cares. I tell my kids, nobody cares about that.
You said that. John Simon hit me up this morning like, hey, bro, when are you back in town? And, you know, I'm excited to get back for some normalcy and a routine because I do enjoy working out with John. But I remember one of my earliest times of coaching, John Simon, everybody, he had a motor.
Elite warrior.
He would go to those depths and just live there. And I just vividly remember him
by the way,
talking trash.
He convinced me. He goes, "Oh, you could run a 5-minute mile." I go, "John, I don't know if physically I could get there. I'd have to lose a bunch of weight." He goes, "Oh, you got it, bro." I'm like, "You can." I'm like, "Dude,
you run very well."
Of him just thinking like you're willing to do whatever, and he knows it because he's a tough dude. So
he's still doing it. He's still doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu as though we make fun of him in all of our group chats. But you know, I just remember John. And one of our special guests, one of our faves, Joshua Perry, and Joshua had, you know, asthma, and John just kept running him around, just like, and Joshua might get him on the very first one, and John would just skip the whole line and go again, and then go again, and he'd beat him, and he'd keep beating him, and then like you'd see Joshua, and he was like, hey. Bring his inhaler. Take a puff on that. It's go time. Get on the line. And he would just kept doing it. And I don't even think Joshua uses an inhaler anymore. It's probably because of John Simon. But it was just John, those type of guys, they're unique. And I would just say this, never lose that. If you ever had it, whatever it is now that gets you there, you got to go test the metal. You got and it's honestly, Bob, it's what we were discussing before we started the show, why we got to go to some of those things and talk about them, because that's what coaches want to see. And in an NIL world, like, how do you balance that now?
Yeah. Hey, man, it's tough to stay hungry when you're really well fed. All right. Yeah. Like when everybody's telling you how great you are and NIL and you got a nice car and all of this stuff, like, and it's interesting because I tell people I've seen guys who have been wildly successful and they're the biggest grinders in the world. and they came from very, impoverished backgrounds, didn't have any advantages in life. And people are like, man, it's easy for those guys. They had no advantage. They were hungry their whole life. I go, I've seen the same guys from the same area that are completely lazy. I've seen dudes that grew up whose parents are, very wealthy. Maybe their dad played professionally, whatever it is. And those guys are grinders. And then I see guys that grew up really wealthy that are lazy. I go, it's something just kind of inherent inside of you. And like your experiences help train you, but you've got to be willing to go there yourself. And so that's what they're working on right now, Schlegs. They had it. They were doing the in the weight room pull downs, the 1
They
second
were doing that now. They're
ISOs,
doing
the 1 second ISOs, 2 second negatives, dude on dude accountability. You coach him, he coaches you. Don't cheat him. I'm like, you got to get vocal. Let him know. We had 2 guys coaching one dude, no one on the other guy. Like, let's go. Let's share the love a little bit, because your job is to make him better. Like, his job is to make you better. Oh, I saw it was unbelievable, man.
It's the best. Like, I mean, my son, I was like, listen, man, we're gaining some serious weight. There's only one way to do it: pure unadulterated iron. And it's tempo. It's time. He's like, this sucks. And like, we went out and played part of the thing graduation weekend, which was amazing. And again, my daughter, her name is Faith, right? Both of them magna cum laude. So that means I think they had like 4.2 GPAs or whatever in high school. She graduated early, but she just like, hey, guess what? I'm 16 months younger, and I still graduated ahead of Hunter because F comes before H. But we went and played Dyes Valley, and my son was like, Dad, I was like, I can barely swing. He started to get discouraged. I was like, hey, are we here to like get big and like play college baseball? We're here to play golf. Like, I'm training you to play freaking baseball, like adapt and overcome on Dyes Valley, which is an amazing course, by the way. Great weekend. And it was even funny. Like my dad's almost 80 years old and he's struggling with breathing. I'm like, Dad, we got to figure this out, breathing work. And so I was like, teaching him like breathing through his nose, because I'm like watching him. He's like panting. And I'm like, I'm still coaching him. I'm like, hey, listen, man, like you want to get over there? Like your neck's looking a little thin, old man. Like, do we need to do some manual neck right here in this? And I'll just do that to him. Like, come on, man. And he's like leaning up against the wall. And I'm like, no, you got this shit. Let's go. Sorry, I said that word. But like, you got to juice them up. I was like, live in your uncomfortable, situation, Dad. Like, we're going to figure this out, but let's go. Manual neck. Tell him to stop being a mouth breather. Coaching them up all the time. Like all those years, Dad, remember? Yeah, now it's back, full circle.
Now it's my turn to coach you. I mean, when you said that, the skinny neck Schlegs, is Cody Rhodes talking to John Cena at the final SmackDown before WrestleMania. You got a neck like a stack of dimes. And I'm like, yes, I've never heard that. I'm like, that is a great line. And you've gone soft. It was really good. Really good.
Perfect.
Good. Yeah, man.
Chicks dig thick cylinders and big backs, man. I'm telling you. It's
That's
just
right.
a fact.
Hey, dude, they were doing the rows, the pulls, all the stuff. Oh, and they were doing the verticals today. I'll tell you about the verticals after this.
Okay,
John and I were just sitting there in awe. So stay tuned. Stay locked in here. We had some other stuff to get to, but vertical jump day at the Woody with those guys is something else now. Before we get going here, I want to tell you, parents and athletes, protect what matters most with Export mouth guards, trusted by professional athletes, designed by NHL team dentists. Export mouth guards are scientifically tested to help absorb those high-impact hits, protecting both your teeth and your brain. Export mouth guards feature 3 layers of advanced protection, including a patented use of carbon fiber. They 3D print that bad boy right to your grill for more protection, better performance, max comfort, clear communication. So you can focus on your game, not on your gear. Do not take chances with your safety. Go to exportguards.com/Bobby today and save 15% on your order. Export, protect what matters most. More of the Bobby Carpenter Show coming up next. All right, Schlegs, welcome back in the Bobby Carpenter Show. You got some action in the chat. John Simon's a dude. And like, John Simon's one of the toughest dudes I've ever been around. Watching him try to play in his final Michigan game his senior year.
Were you in the locker room when that happened?
Yeah, they went over and like, can you talk to him? Because I got to play a play and then was done. At least you get to kind of bury it beforehand. I was like all juiced up and ready to go. I'm like, John, you cannot do, like, you physically can't, and it's okay. Like, you have tried everything within and maybe outside of the bounds of legal medicine to get out here to be able to play. And the stuff that they were doing to you, most people wouldn't want to get done under anesthesia, and you're just having it done in the locker room, for heaven's sake.
Yes.
I mean,
it's like, honestly, I don't know where they found a stick. And they're like, just bite on this. And then just draining this knee. And all week long, he was like working on it. And just how that game, like this thing was like a balloon. And he just do it. It almost was like, cut me, Mick. Come on, cut me.
It was almost like cut it off and put on a prod. You got a peg? Can I play on a peg? Just get the saw and chainsaw. We'll just saw it off right here.
John would have done it. Like he's still like that, guys. Like John is like the most minimalist dude. And he's just so fun, and his humor is amazing.
It's amazing. We're talking, I mean, and I like to stay positive on the show, and I don't want to drag anybody through the mud. There's some stuff that happened, obviously, Schlegs. It wasn't so great over the weekend with some of Ohio State athletics, former athletes. Yeah. And the comments that John had on that were it's the same thing. It's remarkable. I said something, he goes, that's what I told Britt. I'm like, the fact that I had the same comment to you that you had to your wife about what happened was pretty remarkable and really good. But what we were doing, Schlegs, they get out there and they put up the standards for the vertical jump, and watching I think it's Bogpen, is it Miller, his last name? I can't remember his last name. I'm gonna have to look up the depth.
Icky?
No, it wasn't Icky.
He could jump.
But him and then Arvell Reese, dude. Arvell Reese. Yeah. I looked at that. I go, I think that's 11 feet in the air, John. Like, I'm not positive on that. Yeah, Bodpen Miller. And dude, crazy. Like, I'm watching this. It's like, that's got to be close to 40. I mean, both of those guys. Like, Arvell's a big dude, and he could explode. And it's amazing watching these dudes get off the ground. And I'm trying to like gauge in the air because there's nothing around it to see. And I'm telling you, man, they were probably like 10-9 up in the air when they were jumping, maybe pushing 11 feet.
Well, I mean, there was a good one in there. There's the football athleticism. Bob, you had it in the group chat. Put that on there.
There we go.
And it was,
go ahead. Throw that up.
I mean, I just, because you've already alluded to, and then let's go to the NIL deal. But like, so Tristan Wirfs, Cooper Flag vertical jump, right? I think it was like 36 inches.
Yes.
Right? Like
I'm not trying to crap on Cooper Flag.
No.
You just see these things, like, because you've seen them in your life. Like, Tristan Wirfs is 320 pounds and had a vertical jump of almost 37 inches.
It makes us all feel terrible.
Yeah, Cooper Flag is 100 pounds less than him, and he's taller, but he has a vertical of 35.5. An inch below, which, believe me, I was 34.5. So I wasn't even touching both these guys. And Schlegs, you were probably 33. I mean, AJ had a 38 inch vertical, and my brothers have had better. But like, the fact that you can weigh 320 pounds and might weigh more than that and get off the ground, like the amount of explosion that you have to push through there to be able to get it done. And so while I shouldn't be surprised when I see that stuff happen, it's just, anytime you see, I always try to enjoy and embrace it and think like, man, like, these guys are some of the best athletes literally in the world.
Yeah.
And, people are going to say, like, well, Bogpen's coming in. He's probably going to be like the 5th or 6th receiver this year just because he's young and he's got a lot of polish to do. But he is an absolutely tremendous athlete.
I mean, if you look at that, then to your point, Bob, right above that stat, John, I just love how you just do the show, and I get to like help out with this. Go to the Ohio State wide receiver room for 2025 because, like, that's literally what they're coming into, right? JJ, boom, 5-star. Carnell, 5. Brandon Ennis, 5. Miley Graham, 5. Quincy Porter, 5. Chris Henry Jr. is going to be a 5. Like, 5s everywhere. And here's the thing, like, this May Mester, just so you guys know, so it's May 19th. So after spring ball, they have like a week, and then they take a solid month where it's discretionary. They finish school.
You know what's discretionary, Schlegs?
Yeah.
Playing time and winning.
Exactly.
All right. So those aren't guaranteed to anybody.
Fix always said that, right? It's not discretionary to win, right? Or to play, you know? And so guys are constantly working out, but they also get a little bit of time to, hey, if you want to go home, like go home, do some things. But it's also with the understanding that you also need to rest. There is a fine line there between what it is that you need to do when you go home versus what is the expectation when you come back. And if you go there, and especially if after the winter is the big one, like right before spring ball, you need a little bit of that rest because it literally has been 6 pounds of crap in a 3-pound bag during that short time frame to get your body prepared for physical contact after a season. This May semester, like when you go home, it's a little bit different, but then boom, it's a full-fledged 6-week sprint, and you got 4th of July. So they test now. You also tested like somewhere in May, but as Bob alluded to, we don't have test days. We test within the training. They already did stuff prior. Like you're not ever at your peak. It's like they just got done running and doing other things on the, today is Monday. So they probably got done doing accelerations and other things. And then they go in the weight room and they test. It's not like their central nervous system is even at its freshest because we don't care. It's like, what do you do within the training? And then they go out and then they train and simultaneously guys are foaming at the mouth, holding each other accountable, doing those things. But that's what I love about like this time period. It's that last 6-week sprint that you can get guys to take another step. You know what they did in spring football and where they need to go and how they need to prepare their bodies for fall camp. And like this week is like day one of that. There is no light at the end of the tunnel.
It's a train.
You know, I do not think about it. Like we are freaking going. And it's just fun to watch within that environment, the competitive excellence that comes out. And that's why what I love so much about mixed program.
Yeah,
so competitive.
Yeah, it's good. What you said was accurate, Schlegs. I came in, they were out on the field before, probably do some acceleration stuff on Mondays before they ultimately do their upper body stuff. And they were jumping right before that. And it was just crazy to see those guys do all that stuff. And like you said, the thing is with the discretionary, I always tried to view it like this. It's like, I'm going to train, and maybe the intensity is not going to be like, I have more time. If I want to come in and lift for, 90 minutes, have time in between sets, relax, like you're still going to go hard and you're still going to do things. If there's little body stuff to take care of yourself, you do all those things, and that's all well and good and very important. But it's not like when you come in with Mick, like, dude, you're ready to rock. It's team training, crazy streaming, accountability. It's a little more Schlegs of what like we call the executive workouts. I'm coming in there because I want to stay fresh. I want to be good. I want to do the things I need to do to be in that spot. And that's what probably the last 3 weeks were, but I think it started last week. Last week, they started ratcheting back up. And then today was like, whoosh, we're really ready to fly.
They gave you autonomy to pick when you could come in. Like, that's like the thing. It's like, oh, all right, it's discretionary. Well, you can come in at this window on these hours, and here's what you're doing, predicated upon what you need. Like, the programming is still the program. It's not like it's just this generic, like, it covers everybody. No, the big skill, the power, they're all doing their own things. They're all doing their own things predicated upon what they need. We just gave you a little bit of autonomy to enjoy yourself. You want to come in at 6 a.m. and get bumpy and then go play around the golf at Gray, because that's the best one and cheapest one to play, have at it, right? Like, it is there. But then once we go back in the summer break, boom, it's go time. And then like the competitiveness just ratchets it back up. They need to have a little bit of, Urban always said this, and this is also important in training, it's you got to be able to work the game. And there's times where, and this is a side nugget, Poof David Copperfield moment for everybody that's out there on a fitness journey. Man, we're all older. We all got things, but you still got to go do it. And you modify, you don't miss. And there's going to be days when you can go get it. You know what I highly encourage you to do? Go get it. But then there's going to be days where you didn't sleep, you haven't eaten, and you know that something's going to break if you go push it to that level. Be smart about it. Modify, don't miss. And a little bit of that discretionary is, let's get your body back. Let's get your mentals back, because I want you ready to go once we hit this next 6-7 week period. And then guess what? Now we'll have 4th of July. Boom. Don't work the game. Focus on yourself, right? Still stay in shape. Like, do the stuff that we tell you to do. That way you come back and you got another 3 hard weeks, 4 weeks, and then poof, David Copperfield, 5 days, and then we got a 4-day intro, and then it's camp. Like, that's – and then we all ball all the time for the next 6 months.
I like it, Schlegs.
Won't be.
You outlined it. We'll break a little bit more of that down. And we've got a little bit of news here coming out of the Ohio State. Some positive news on the athletic side. We'll break that down for you here next in the Bobby Carpenter Show. Welcome back in the Bobby Carpenter Show. And Schlegs, there was some good news here. We'll start with you. You were talking about Hunter golfing a little bit, and his arms were sore, complaining about golfing out there at the Dye. What's it called?
Dyes Valley.
Honestly, it was, is that D-Y-E-S or D-I-E-S?
No, D-Y-E. But it's
joke,
the one.
I know that because it's Pete Dye.
Yeah, but it's the one that's right next to the TPC Sawgrass. But it is his graduation. But through May, it's $750 a dude. And guess what, Hunter? I love you. We ain't going there. Okay. So we're gonna go play the Dye course. So
wait, does the price go down in the summer then when it gets hotter?
It does when it gets hotter, but yeah, it goes down to like $550. I mean, it's super bumpy. And my brother-in-law, he lives on TPC Craig Ranch where they play the Byron Nelson.
Yeah.
So and then Scotty just won he won that one like 31 under. And he won the PGA this last weekend. Highland Park guy, but yeah. Anyways, it still a great time. My dad rode around. My dad rode around the cart with my brother from another mother, James, and he was good. He was going back and forth between the two groups. I had a guy that was a Navy pilot was in our group. He was awesome. Like we had like it was a great time. Great time. Perfect.
Well, speaking of golf, why don't you lead this in, Schlegs, because you were the one that found this little bad boy for me. With Ohio State having a little golf success, if you will, out there on the greens.
Yeah, so Jay Mosley's this is the second time this has happened in the last month. Jay Mosley, he's the head coach for the Ohio State men's golf. He's at the airport again. Everybody, you know me, I fly every week. He just happened to be there. They were going out to Arizona to play, and he said it's like the NIT tournament. They got 5th in the Big Ten this year, so they didn't make the NCAA championship tournament. So they went out to this one, wanted to finish the season strong, trying to build something there. OSU men's golf ended up winning that invitational, which was awesome. And, it's just, again, it's a building block for the next year. I forget what they were. Like they played really, really well in this one. And so anyways, kudos to Coach and the boys. Because I remember I got to give him a pep talk before the Big Ten, talking about Waffle House Ready. He's like, talk about your shirt. I mean, literally, I had Waffle House Ready T-shirt on there. But yeah, it was great, man. Good for them.
It was. Well, it's tremendous. We got some other news that we'll save for our headlines.
Oh, you want to save that? Okay.
Yeah, dude. We got to get to. We got a lot of stuff to get to before the end of the show, and it's been a fun and fast one, Schlegs. Those are always the best, the best kinds. But before we get out of here, I want to tell you about our friends over at Backer. That's BCKR. Brand new product. We've talked about a lot. I actually it's a little chilly on Saturday morning, so I threw on the windbreaker, premium windbreaker. Unbelievable. Feels good. Looks good. It's like the stuff that you wear on the golf course. Now, maybe not in Florida because it's so stinking hot there. But they do have stuff. Their windbreakers have UV protection. I was wearing the hat out there as well. But the golf, the skiing, the hunting, the fishing, all of those premium products, listen, they're unbelievable. Go to Backer, BCKR.com. Go check out their stuff. I know someone was complaining they want a fitted hat. So I'm going to try to see what we can do and see if we can get some fitted hats over there for you on that. But go check them out. A portion of the proceeds when you go to Backer.com is going back to Ohio State Athletics as well. It's got premium pricing for premium products. So make sure you check it out. Really good stuff. And use promo code Bobby, all caps, BOBBY, for free expedited shipping. Again, that's bckr.com. Headlines coming up next. All right, now time to hop into our headlines. Headlines are brought to you by our friends over at Lake Spur Marketing. They're a full-service ad agency built on trust, on strategy, on performance. Lake Spur, their team, here's what they're going to do. They're going to let you work on your business. It's what you do best. They're going to shield you from the cold calls, the nonsense, the outside noise, and so you can focus up and help run your business. It's what you want to do. That's why you got into it. They're experienced. They've got over 100 years in marketing experience. So they're going to be able to devise the strategies, the plans, campaigns, eliminate the waste, and deliver on budget. They don't chase clicks. They help build partnerships. Lake Spur Marketing, the proof is in the partners. Now, Slags, we were talking about running on the track. I always fancy myself. I mean, I was a 400 runner growing up. I feel like I got some good juice. I remember when I was in a sixth, seventh grader, like I broke 60 and ran like a 59 at our league meet in junior high. I think I finished sixth, got us some points. Eighth grade, I was running like mid 50s, like 55, 56. So feeling a lot better about that. But the 4x4 team at Ohio State, I mean, hauling balls. If you want to pull that up of what they were able to do, Pat, and how good they are, and just the unbelievable relentless speed as they won the Big Ten championship in the 4x4 on this weekend. So unbelievable strikes. I mean, I don't know what you could run a 400 in. I would like to think that I would be able to somehow break a 60 still. I know that that's tough, but Carmichael Lewis, Brandon Nudo getting it done. A 3:04 combined time for the four of them. I mean, that's like basically 45-ish seconds, 46 seconds for all of them, and on average, and that's crazy town.
Yeah, I mean, guys, that's fast, right? That's what we talk about. But again, I would say this, Bob. I don't know if it's because I'm following it more, but Ohio State athletics is doing some really good things, man. Like, you don't want to be a football school, basketball school. We have 36 sports, and the cool thing, and one thing I do like about our show is that we bring light to that. We have over 1,000 student athletes at Ohio State. I think it's something that we should take pride in, and the fact that they're competing at high levels in a lot of those sports. And I mean, synchronized swimming has won the national championship for like 30 years in a row, and the rowing team, and hell, the daggum rifle team and pistol team be winning national championship. Tennis, Ty Tucker and the boys, Miguel, they just be winning stuff. It's great, man. I love it. And it's always awesome to be able to shed some light on people running really, really fast.
What do you think your 400 time would be if you ran a 400?
I don't know. I don't want to run.
No, I want you. Like, you were pressed into it, Schlegs. Imagine
I can do it below 60.
I don't think that's real. I don't. Schlegs, I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't even know.
What?
I don't even see. I guess the thing, I haven't done it in so long. It'd be like, I don't know. The greater test for me would be, remember this asking about James and the stuff like that. Everybody knows how much I love box. Like the box play, that's where I thrive. Hash to hash, right there, physical contact, whatever drills we want to do in there, I could do those all day. It was when you just started running well over 50 yards. I was like, dang.
Well, Schlegs, this is a quarter mile, so it's significantly over 50 yards.
I know.
One of the big things of 400s on a track.
What's my strategy?
Stride length matters. Stride length is important. And so you're not like exactly designed for that. So you would have to overcome it with just grit and tenacity. In my mind, I would like to think
I'd have to run every 100 in under 15 seconds.
Yes. Now, once you accelerate, you're running there, so it's just maintaining. But I'm telling you, I would the 625. I felt better about a sub 630 mile than I feel about a sub minute.
I mean, now that I start saying that, now that I start speaking, I verbalized it out loud. There ain't no way I could do that.
Yeah, John Simon also is like, dude, you could do that easy. I'm like, it wouldn't be easy. I would probably be throwing up at the end, and that's assuming that I didn't blow a hammy on that last 100 meters, and I was not locked up and able to get it done. I mean, it's like that. Your heart rate coming off that last 100 meters, dude. We're probably rolling at like a 175, 180 heart rate. I mean,
it'd be exploding. I'm 44. It's 220 minus your age. I would be way above that threshold.
By the way, okay, so that's another question I have, and I don't know if we have time. Why is that 220 minus your age? Who made that up?
That's just people.
Like they're telling me that's like, and believe me, I try because I'm like, okay, it means I shouldn't be able to get over 180 now. I'm like, I bet
that's more of heart rate zones that I think you can. I mean, hell, maybe that's something that we should try to do.
Will it kill me? I've been in the upper 170s.
Stronger. It can only make you stronger. I mean, what would that be? That means I'm at 176. I'm sure, like, I feel like I've had my heart rate above that recently. When I was doing sprints and stuff during that training, probably not. Well, here the main point of it is, what are the zones that you want to live at to, like, if you want to improve your VO2 max, which is honestly crazy. VO2 max, and your side nugget, right? Grip strength is also a significant indicator in overall health and wellness as you get older. Facts, right? People that have soft grip probably got some problems. So it's like keep working on your grip game, and then also the VO2 max. Because I was just in there like looking at different things that you could do. There's like this Norwegian 4x4 where it's like 4 minutes hard, and it's like at anywhere between 85 to 95% of that, like staying in that realm for 4 minutes and then coming back down. I remember, Bob, like one of the things we did when we were playing, like when you don't have this stuff to be able to do, we would run like intervals on a treadmill, right? On the incline, 10 seconds on, 20 seconds off, get it up there, maintain that level, come back down. You'd hit like, there's a bunch of different ways of doing it. Do a 6 play drive, then you progress to a 7 play, an 8 play. You do that for 3 series, 4 series, 5 series, just ways, because you can't replicate football, so you have to microdose certain things. That was one way that you could do it. But more of those zones is predicated upon where do you want to live at to get the results that you want.
Yeah, Schlegs, you just want to get lean. You want to get lean and shredded, Schlegs. That's what you're all about, getting jacked.
That's called a routine. Yeah, you know what? I'll say this. The more overhead pressing I've been doing, the better my shoulder feels. Just letting you know.
That doesn't make any sense, but it might make sense for you today. All right, we're going to put a pin in that. We're going to come back. We've got our tailgate talk where we answer your questions coming up next on the Bobby Carpenter Show. All right, welcome into our tailgate talk brought to you by our friends over at Real Truck here on the Bobby Carpenter Show. Go to realtruck.com. I was driving my Jeep around, man. It was feeling pretty sweet. I put the side views on, so I have some level of mirrors now. Told RJ, I was like, dude, I'm going to get you to drive this thing. So you can learn to drive a stick. You can drive automatic. Yeah, I mean, you can drive it all. There's a good question that came in here, and I'll answer this quickly. It's from Seek and
destroy.
Well, Seek and Og, 7262 or 7262. So, guys, question on Austin and Berm. I saw the news that the Post said that their new show would be on 97.1 podcast as well as 10 TV Plus. Found a couple of the episodes only on 10 TV Plus, nothing on 971. Can you clarify how often and when the platforms will be and when we can see them? So I think their stuff is going to be exclusively on 10 TV Plus right now. I think in the future that could change. But I know right now, like that's where a lot of that focus is, and that's where it's going to be living. So you can check him out there. Austin's been on here a couple of times. I think they're working on trying to bring back the Rooster Show as well, which Legs and I both have been contributing members and a part of as well. I don't know.
What other questions you got? What other questions?
Here we go. Oh, you'll like this, Schlegs. This is from Jordan Furby. So in regards to fixing the college football season, it's pretty simple. Move the season up to the start of week 0. Eliminate conference title games. Start that the first Saturday after regular season. Expand to 16. Home sites until the semis, so the first 2 rounds. Semis are at the Sugar, Fiesta, Peach, and Cotton. Championship game at the Rose and held on Saturday. No more Monday night championship games.
Sounds amazing.
I don't dislike that. The moving up of the schedule, I think, is something that is a real possibility and something that could and probably should happen. The expansion of 16 is going to happen. The elimination of conference championship games, I don't think is ever going to happen, simply due to the fact that they make too much money.
Stupid.
And that would have to be offset if they didn't do that by something else. Home sites for the first 2 rounds, that's something they might be able to swing as well. So there's also a part of that. Monday night, the championships game on Saturday night, I love that. I don't know if that's going to be, you'll be able to swing that though with the NFL. And that's the problem that you have, is trying to figure out how to work around that behemoth and what they do, because they've gobbled up all of those time slots there. So those are some good questions. Schlegs, what do you think about that?
I love it. I think that's fantastic. I am with you. I think the conference championship games have to go. I think that's why you play a 10-game schedule in your conference. If you have co-Big Ten champs, who cares? It's about the bracket, and that's just one extra week, one extra game on your body. I don't like it. How do you make it up? If you wanted to, the one thing I think you could do is you could have a bye, like just a week off of the last regular season for those teams that are playing, and that's when they can go right into the bowl weeks. They can go right into the bowl games. So it's postseason, go into the bowl games. And then maybe if they play like another one, then, if you wanted better games, and maybe you finish it out with those consolation games and the one extra one. But again, none of that will happen until you get a College Football Playoff Players Association to say, like, hey, you're here through the entirety of our season, and this is where it goes. And also, this is how you could potentially get compensated extra when you play an extra game, but you're under our contract.
Absolutely. Good answer, Schlegs. I like it. So there's some things idealistically you'd love, then you got to look at the reality of what would actually happen. And so we'll try to combine those and blend those things together of what could potentially work. Coming up next, we'll wrap up the show with the parting thoughts of Anthony Schlegel. All right, Schlegs. I mean, this is something that I know you want to get to, and I mean, it's something that we could probably use and like talk a whole 15 minutes about, the epitome of being gas station ready. But if you want to pull it up right now,
pull it up there, throw it up there, throw it up there, Pat, throw it up there. I'm just waiting. So hey, Kenny Peterson, former Buckeye, our guy, 97, number 1 in your heart, looking extra thick. Here's the deal: got spit on. Somebody spit on him, and he F around and found out, and he got up there and just gave him a couple of left hooks right to the beak. And that happened. I don't condone any. Like, honestly, my wife, my wife's like, why don't we go out? Why don't we? I just don't go out. I don't like to go out. I don't like to put myself road race situations. They're all bad. It's all terrible. But somebody tried to mess around with KP and said all our Buckeyes.
All our Buckeyes, yeah. You're going to spit on a dude like that in the parking lot. I mean, Kenny Schlegs, when he was here, weighed about 320. He tried to tell me he weighed 320 still. I mean, we're probably looking at about 4 backs right there.
I'm watching it back. As I'm playing it, I'm watching it.
The best thing that happened to Kenny is he didn't pull that guy out of his window, because if he got him on the ground, he may have beat him to death, and that would not have been good for anybody involved. Moving forward. But listen, if you're going to spit on another human being, you better be prepared to make sure you can defend yourself against the aforementioned human being. And I would not advise that at all. So, okay, Kenny, bringing the pain. That's it for this edition of the Bobby Carpenter Show. Stay tuned in, locked in tomorrow. We'll see you again.